Alright, Math 6, Module 4, Lesson 32. It says determine which variable is the independent variable and which variable is the dependent variable. Write an equation, make a table, plot points from the table on the graph. Alright, here we go. Enoch can type 40 words per minute. Let W be the number of words typed and M be the number of minutes spent typing. Now, does the minutes typed depend on the words typed depend on the minutes, or do the minutes depend on the word type? Correct. So, the words are the independent, the minutes are the independent, and the words are dependent. Right? So, independent values go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And dependent go on the Y. Well, if this is our X, this is going to be our... Mr. Anderson's crazy. Why did I write independent? Minutes goes here. Okay, so the minutes... I cannot spell or do anything right now. Minutes. And this is going to be words. So the words are our Y, so we're going to put this as W. M is our minutes, correct? So for 1 minute, he types 40 words. In 2 minutes, he can type 80, 3, 120, 4, 160, 5, 200 words in 5 minutes. So how are we going to graph this? I'm going to go ahead and make each block probably 20. Okay, each block 20 up through here. So this would be 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, and we'll just do 240. That's as far as we'll go. So for 1 minute, it'll be 40 words. 2 minutes, 80. 3 minutes, 120. 4 minutes, 150 or 160. 5 minutes, 200. 6 minutes, 240. And look, it's a line, a straight line. So, what will our equation look like? The words, because that's what we're trying to find, right? Equals 40M. 40 times the minutes. Okay? Everybody understand that? All right, let's go to lesson 33 real quick, and I'll show you how to do it, although you're going to need to watch the video on it in class today. Let's go to lesson 33, if it will load. Here we go. Okay, lesson 33, module 4, 6th grade, is choose the numbers, if any, that make the equation or inequality true from the following sets of numbers. Well, we know what an equation is. That's when it equals. What's an inequality? What is an inequality? It's when you see the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, those type of statements, right? There's your type of statements right there. Everybody remember those? Know those? Okay. Now, number 1 says 1/3 F equals 4. How are we going to answer that? How are we going to figure out what F is? This is an equality because there's an equal sign. So that means if there's an equal sign, how many numbers could be correct? How many numbers might be correct if it's an equal sign? There's only going to be one, if there's any at all. There's only one number that can equal, okay? So if you say an equal sign, there's only going to be one correct answer, if there is one at all. So how are we going to do this? 1/3 F equals 4. Can we do 1/3 F? So we're going to do the opposite. What's the opposite of 1 divided by 3 times F? It is multiplied. It's 1/3 F. What's the opposite of that? We can divide. We divide by what? Okay, let's go over this. We are struggling this morning. 1/3 F equals 4. We can't multiply 1/3 times F, can we? So we would divide by 1/3 because we want to get F by itself, right? What happens when you divide by a fraction? What? We got to flip it. Keep, change, flip, remember? So we're going to, good job. You know what? So if we keep, change, flip, instead of dividing by 1/3, we want to multiply by or 3. So let me show you. This is the trick you need to know. Okay? Whenever you have a fraction, to get rid of the fraction, you want to get rid of the denominator. Okay? How can we get rid of this denominator? Well, it's divided by 3, so we're going to multiply by 3. Because what's 3 times 1/3? If you have a third 3 times, what do you have? 1. And that's what we want to get to. We want F to be by itself. We want 1F. Okay? So if we multiply that side by 3, we will multiply this side by 3, and we get F equals 12. And that is in our list up here. So the answer is 12, or you could also say 12. Okay? That's a little tricky. That's how you want to do it. Whenever you see, I know we would normally say 1/3 of F, do the opposite. Let's divide by 1/3. But when you divide by a fraction, you're also flipping and multiplying. So just remember, to get rid of that denominator, I want to multiply by 3. Now watch. What if it had been, this is not the problem, but what if it had been 2/3 F equals 4? What would you do? You still want to start out by multiplying by that denominator. Okay? So let's multiply by the denominator. Do it to both sides. What's 3 times 2/3? Well, that sits over 3, which is the 2. You're still left with the 2 up there. And that equals 12. Now what are you going to do? What are you going to do now? If you have 2F equals 12, what do? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. F equals 6. Okay? So even though it's not a 1 in the numerator, you still can multiply by it to get rid of the denominator and then just solve it from there. Okay? All right. Let's look at the next one. The next one is an inequality, and it is 1/3 F is so that it is less than 4. We found out what it would be to equal 4, right? But now we want what's less than 4. Okay? So what would the numbers give you that are less than 4? Yeah, so we could say 3, 4, 7, and 9. Because those are all less than 12. Because just like if we would have worked that out up here, we would have F less than 12. Well, we can't include 12 because it's got to be less than 12. So what up here in our list is less than 12? Well, 3, 4, 7, and 9. And think about it. What's 3 times a third? 1. Is that less than 4? Yes. What about 9? What's 9 divided 9? 1/3 times 9. 3. Is that less than 4? So it's a true statement. Good. All right, number 3 says m plus 7 equals 12. All right, how are we going to solve this? Janice, how do we solve that? Well, no, we're just going to subtract 7, right? Just subtract 7 from both sides. And m equals 13, right? Is that our answer? Hannah says no, then she says yes. She's giving me the... Is it? What's our answer? No answer. Why? 13 is not in our list up here. It says choose the numbers, if any, that make the equation or inequality true from the following set of numbers. 13 is not in our list. So we'd say there is no answer here. No solution here. Okay? Now it says m plus 7 is greater than or equal to 12. Well, we know that m is greater than, or I'm sorry, 20. M is greater than or equal to 13. So what is our answer? Well, what is it? Right, only 18 and 32 are greater than or equal to 13 in our solution set. Okay?